Welcome back or welcome to Joy Unfiltered. I am Rachel, your host, and I am so glad that you are here today. This is a space where we stop pretending that burnout is the price of success and start exploring a different way to lead, live, and actually feel good in our lives. Because here is what I believe at my core. Joy is not the reward. Joy is the strategy. And in a world that's been built on pressure, urgency, and endurance, we're doing things a little bit differently around here. We are choosing energy over exhaustion, regulation over reactivity, connection over competition. And we're doing it in a way that's grounded in both science and a little bit of magic. So whether you are walking, driving, lifting something heavy, or just taking a breath in the middle of a busy day, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to do something just a little different. We're not just talking about joy, we're building it. Layer by layer, choice by choice, moment by moment. Because joy is not something you stumble into. Joy is something you construct. And today I want to show you how fun, variety, and happiness are not random experiences floating around your life. They are tools. They are inputs. They are part of a system that, when used intentionally, creates a life that actually feels as good as it looks. So let's start with this idea. Joy is the through line. Let me say that again. Joy is the through line. Not the reward at the end. Not the gold star after you have done everything quote unquote right. Joy is the thread that runs through your day. Or it doesn't. And most people, they are living in a way where joy is conditional. I'll feel good when. I will relax after. I will enjoy my life once. And what happens? They build a life full of achievement, but empty of experience. So today, let's flip that. So now let's ground this in something real, because this is not just a philosophy. There's actual research behind why this works. So let's start with happiness. And this is where Arthur Brooks gives us a beautiful foundation. He talks about happiness as having three components or three macros: enjoyment, satisfaction, meaning. And if you think about it, that's what most people are chasing, right? Moments that feel good, progress that feels rewarding, a life that feels purposeful. But here's the catch. You can still have all three and still not feel joyful. Because happiness is often episodic. It comes in moments. Joy is continuous. Joy is what connects those moments into something that feels like a life. So how do we build that? We start with fun. And I know even saying that word can feel a little optional, like something extra. But fun is not extra. Fun is entry. And this is where Catherine Price completely reframed how I think about it. She says true fun is the intersection of playfulness, connection, and flow. And when I first read that, I thought, That's joy. Playfulness opens you. Connection grounds you, and flow absorbs you. Those are not distractions. Those are states that pull you fully into your life. And what's happening in your brain during those moments? You're releasing dopamine. Yes, but also strengthening attention, memory, and emotional regulation. Fun is not a break from life. Fun is what makes you feel your life. So when joy feels far away or distant, it's often because fun has quietly exited the room. Now let's bring in movement, because this is where joy becomes physical. And here enter Kelly McGonigal. She teaches that movement is not just something we do for our bodies. It's something we do for our emotional experience of being alive. When you move, you shift your chemistry. Endorphins rise. Dopamine activates. Serotonin stabilizes. But here's the deeper layer. Movement creates connection, especially when it's shared. Walking with someone, working out in a group, dancing. Your nervous systems sync. Your bodies literally start to align. And what do you feel in that moment? That lift, that energy, that sense of being part of something. That is joy in motion. So when we talk about building joy, we're not just talking about a mindset. We are talking about physiology. Now let's shift into variety, because even if you have fun, even if you are moving, your brain still needs something else. Your brain needs novelty. Your brain is constantly scanning for what's new. And when it finds it, it wakes up. Dopamine spikes, attention sharpens, energy increases. Without variety, life starts to feel like a loop. Wake up, work, eat, repeat. Even if everything is quote unquote fine. And this is why so many high achieving leaders feel stuck. Not because their life is broken, but perhaps because it feels too predictable. Variety. Variety brings color back, not through massive changes, but through small disruptions. Maybe it is a different route that you take to work, a different question that you ask, a different choice. Variety is how you keep joy from going stale. Now, let's go even deeper, because joy is not just built through what you do, it's built through what you notice. And this is where Ross Gay gives us one of the most powerful practices I've ever seen. He made a commitment to notice delight. Let me say that again. He made a commitment to notice delight every day. Not big, massive moments, tiny ones. And what happened? His world changed. Not because his circumstances changed, but because his attention did. Your brain has a filter. It's constantly deciding what matters. And when you train it to notice delight, you start to see more of it. Joy isn't hiding. It's just waiting to be seen. And now let's connect this to performance, because I know you are not just here to feel good. You want to live well, lead well, perform well. So enter Shawn Achor. His research shows us that when your brain is in a positive state, everything improves. Productivity, creativity, decision making, resilience. And here's the shift that matters. We've been taught that success leads to happiness. But Achor's research shows the opposite. Happiness fuels success. And if happiness fuels success and joy sustains happiness, then joy is not a luxury. Joy is leverage. So now let's bring this all home, because this is where your framework lives. Happiness gives you enjoyment, satisfaction, meaning. Fun gives you playfulness, connection, flow. Movement gives you energy, chemistry, connection. Variety gives you novelty, attention, aliveness. Noticing gives you awareness, presence, and depth. And your macros of joy, they pull this all together. Noticing. You see what's already there. Allowing. You let yourself to feel it. And sharing, you expand beyond yourself. That's the system. That's the strategy. That is how joy becomes something you live, not something you wait for. So let me leave you with this. You don't need a new life to feel joy. You need a new way of moving through the life you already have. More fun, more variety, more awareness. Not someday, today. So here's your invitation. Do something that makes you smile. Change something small. Notice one moment. Let it land and share it. That's it. That is how joy compounds. And if this episode resonated, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and then leave me a comment. Oh, and don't forget, the link to sign the pledge for one joyful text a day is in the show notes. Because one joyful text, that is not small. That is how we together change the world one moment at a time. And remember, from my heart to yours, I am celebrating you today and every day. So have fun, live well, enjoy.